These students are protesting their school's anti-LGBT policy. Their school is a private, non-profit Christian university. Their parents are spending $56,000 for them to throw a tantrum on stage at their graduation ceremony because this Christian school refuses to push that religion. If they wanted to go to a school that pushed that religion so bad, why didn't you just drop out in the 4 years that you were attending and go to a government-sponsored community college?
And you know that's like an ignorant way to stand, right? Like,
why?
You're over here, I tell you...
I'm actually half handicapped, so that's very offensive that you said that.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I can probably tell.
I'm super offended, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lying and being a high conflict is part of your personality disorder. Why are you looking at women with your fucking eyes?
Are you a woman?
Oh my god, so you...
Oh, I didn't even know, I'm sorry.
I'm non-binary, so it doesn't really matter.
That's why I asked. I was trying to be polite. That's what you should do, right?
The confusion that was going on in that video was absolutely amazing. She just said he was looking at a woman referring to herself, and then 2 minutes later claims that she's non-binary, which means she's not a woman. As I've said in other videos, they can't even keep up with the confusion of the ABCD community.
What are you? Are you a man or a woman?
Why?
I'm just wondering. Huh? Hey, are you a man or a woman? I don't know what you are.
What the fuck do you care?
When did you become...
What the fuck do you
When
care?
did you become... What are you going to come
out? What the fuck do you care?
Why do I care?
The world has gone completely mad. I'm looking at this guy and I'm confused as to why he decided to get so violent for. And I'm trying to understand why it's always men like this that always seem to get violent. That's not very ladylike of you.
Does anyone else want to just be really bold and outlandish and tell us about your period? Because I don't know if that's an argument.
Are you a woman?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we need a man. You're a woman?
Yeah, I'm an African-American lesbian Jew.
I mean,
Are you free?
How does that make sense?
Exactly. Wait, we're all men?
Has a vagina.
Where'd Rachel go? They're over.
You have a vagina.
We've been out. Hey, I don't have a vagina, but I do believe in human rights.
Why does your opinion matter?
So the females that are out here with us, hey, listen.
Cycle. Any of that. I'm
Hey.
on my period right now. What's up?
Hey, I'm not on my period right now, that's for sure. But if I claimed it, I guess we would be in a weird place, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Because
It's really that simple. You just use your own logic against them, because if it's the case that you can identify as whatever it is that you want to identify as, then he can identify as an African-American woman who apparently gets periods, because I myself also identify as a white woman. And I'm sure everyone who subscribes to this channel already knows that, and I say it a lot, and I'm sure you're probably tired of me continuously telling you that I identify, or not even identify, I just am a white woman. And anyone who's to say otherwise, you're just bigoted, homophobic, and racist.
If you know me, you know I don't move out of white people way on the street. I will dead ass fuck a shoulder check. Bitch, I'm taking your shoulder with me, actually. Yeah, I'm walking down the street with that. I will knock a bitch flat and walk over her. I don't care. I'm not moving. When it comes to them white people, I'm not moving. Y'all so rude.
We get it. You like playing victim because it's an easy thing to do. The hard thing to do is to point the finger at yourself and to say that you're lacking in some areas of your life.
As a black woman in America, it's always going to be harder to get to the corporate level of things.
You got a good example of that?
Let me see. Okay. I'm a pre-law student, so just thinking about like my future, I have to go against men, mainly white males, or even our own black male community attacking us like, oh, you're too high up in a position, or you're making this much money. So like those are curveballs that black women face in America.
So those curveballs keep you from what?
Whether it's promotions, getting a husband, being happy later on in life, because it's kind of like placed on you because you doing well for yourself and not the other person. So yeah.
Well, my sister's actually a lawyer. She's married, got 3 beautiful daughters, and she's very successful and entrepreneurial. So when I hear things about what's holding you back, I think it's more about what are you not doing to overcome those things. So I think right now, when you see people like her as an example, you can't sit back and be like, I can't do that. You should see that as a possibility that that's able for me too, right?
It's only harder for people who don't want to put in the work. And as I've said, it's easy to complain and point the finger at everyone else other than yourself.
Hey y'all, I'm with Adam Sandler. He's in Vancouver. Wow.
Your picture.
He's a big boobs.
like that's Adam Sandler.
It is.
Ooh. Are you gay?
No.
You look gay.
Before we get back into the video, I need everyone to turn on their post notifications so that you get notified whenever one of my videos come out. Like the video as much as possible, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at YinkaThatGuy. Let us get back into the video.
Republicans like Vance and Trump advisor Stephen Miller, who is tangentially connected to Project 2025, have made it a point to block these disbursements. In Project 2025, folks like Miller, Vance, and Trump want to nationalize their long-term goal of putting a stop to what they call anti-white racism, which is just another way of saying we're sick of America being held accountable for actual racism. Under Project 2025, the Department of Justice would play the central role in executing their national policy of reversing racial progress. They would force the DOJ's Civil Rights Division, which is responsible for enforcing federal statutes that prohibit discrimination based on race, color, or religion, or sex, disability, or national origin, to refocus, moving away from what they call affirmative discrimination and ensure, quote, lawfulness, which essentially means protecting the people who've had access and opportunity all along.
There's only one type of racism, and I don't know what world we've created where we're beginning to say there are different types of racism based on the skin color that you are, which would also be racism.
Like growing up, and even still nowadays, it's bikinis that are pushed as the attractive, gorgeous, hot thing. And I just never felt comfortable in a bikini.
Do you want to have kids?
No.
Why?
I feel like I just want to like focus on like a career, and I feel like it's kind of hard if you have children.
Do you think you'll regret not having kids later in life?
Like if I succeed during work, then I don't think I'll regret it. But if I don't, then yeah, I'll probably will.
We've created a selfish society where people just care about themselves. And this is the reason why the replacement rates in a lot of Western countries have declined.
You get lied to, then you get smashed and dashed. And at the end, you're wondering why, because you have no sense of reality. And why does the lie work on you? Because you want to be lied to.
Hey guys, I just wanted to hop on here on this very special day and talk a little bit about what pride means to me. Pride for me means the ability to be myself, to express myself without judgment or inhibition or fear. And it really just means having a safe space to be me. And so I'd love to hear what pride means to you all. So let me know in the comments below, and really have fun this month. And I hope you guys have a great first day of Pride. Bye, guys.
This guy is definitely trolling, but it's hilarious to me to watch these videos because what he's saying is also hilarious. But if he wants to continue to play this role and do what he's doing, he can keep going ahead and doing it. But I am definitely not buying it.
Hi everyone, good evening, it's your girl Zena. So I wanted to do a video about my transition. It started back in October 2021, where I downloaded an app for fun. It's called FaceApp, and I did a gender swap, and all I did was change two settings, which was change gender and add makeup. And the results were absolutely amazing. And I didn't think much of it. I sent it to a few friends, and they said to me, you know, oh my God, you should try it. You know, you should transition, you should do it. And I went, oh yeah, okay, go away. And I just brushed it off. Fast forwarding a few months, I got bored on that Christmas break, so it was December 2021, and I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. And I bought some clothes and some makeup, a bra, a few other girly bits, and I waited till I was home alone, and I tried everything on, and I went and looked in the mirror, and I just went, wow. And it felt like the last piece of the puzzle was put in, And that's the only way I can describe it. Like,
now, I've been told that people don't do what this guy just did, but yet I'm seeing a video of this guy telling me he wanted to change his gender because he just wanted to change his gender.
In a memo to staff, he cautioned against using gendered language. The list of do not use phrases include manpower, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, mother, father, son, stepdaughter, and husband, wife. He also warned staff against pressuring coworkers to share their pronouns, which can include Z and Zer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are doomed.
Can we just also say we don't actually need gravity?
What do you mean that we don't need gravity?
What if it was never invented?
Invented by who?
Sir Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton created gravity?
Whoever created gravity, someone did, but we don't actually need it.
There was,
like,
there was a time on Earth before gravity existed?
Yes. Who created gravity, babe? Dan?
It was Isaac Newton, you're right.
Yes, there are people who are this dumb who walk amongst us.
Women make it such a big deal that they have to cook and clean for their husbands because that's so degrading and they're so above that. Yet the maids or nannies or cleaners that they hire, that they'll pay pennies on the dollar for to do that, that's okay. That's feminism for you. Less than minimum wage those ladies make. That's feminism for you.
Well, when you have years and years of programming and propaganda that has been pushed on them, of course they're going to begin to hate it when that's all they've been told all of their lives.
I'm going to keep it short and simple. What is your take on climate change?
I believe the climate changes. I definitely believe the climate changes. I'm from New York and Connecticut. In fact, I know it does, but I keep being wrong in their climate predictions because it is a way for the government to tax you into oblivion and make you believe that you are being taxed for something virtuous when in fact you are not. It is absolutely ridiculous to believe that even if the world was going to end in 10 years, that government tax would somehow fix it, especially since the people that contribute the most in terms of carbon emissions is China, and they're never in any of these agreements. It's an absolute nonsense, it's a farce, and I hope that students wake up to it.
You're getting lipo in the arms,
yes,
lipo in the belly.
And I'm getting a small implant put.
Well, in addition to my other question, how can you possibly be a 10 if you need to get these cosmetic...
No one said I needed them. It's just...
Well, you're getting them regardless.
Well, I am in the adult industry, and I probably would make more money if I was like... That's a kind of a big thing, and I'm...
So what will you be... But these procedures are going to improve your looks?
Yes.
So then what number will you be after the procedures?
I will always consider myself a 10. I do what I want with the way I look.
But how can, if it's increasing your physical attractiveness?
You can think I'm not a 10. I don't care. Listen, I don't care, and I really don't care what you think about, but I think it's so crazy to get on a podcast and debate how a woman looks.
I'll tell you why it's important.
You alright? Well, it's kind of like stressful. You're getting me on a podcast to debate how I look, and I've already said I don't care.
No. We talked about like
Can you just stop talking? It's a little bit stressful,
or what?
And I'm not gonna lie.
Don't tell me.
Let me give her something.
Such a strong, independent woman who needs no man and who doesn't care about what he just said, yet she was crying over what he just said. Make it make sense.
I do agree that there is stigma that I have to deal with because I am fat, but I'm actually really in celebration of my body. I find beauty in diversity. I think we come in all shapes and sizes. And the assumption that we've dealt with a lot on this show is that just because you're obese, you must overeat. You must have an eating disorder. I know that not to be the case. I know you can have a healthy relationship.
Look, if you want to feel good about yourself, it's impossible to feel good about yourself when you're doing something that's self-destructive. Also, self-destructive behaviors that result in damage or debilitation or even disfigurement to the body, that's never going to be perceived as beautiful.
The thing is that I think that the HAES approach, the health at every size approach, has been documented to work. And it's been documented to work year after year.
What do you mean work? What do you mean work? Because a health at every size is a lie. If you starve yourself into damage, that's unhealthy. Or if you eat yourself into damage, that's not healthy.
You're making a lot of assumptions.
That's just not. That's not true.
You're making a lot of assumptions.
That's like saying that.
Weight
let's say you were a
self-destructive.
smoker. Let's say you're a smoker and have black lungs, and you try to say that's healthy because you don't have cancer yet. We know that it is actually factual that obesity is dangerous, and it's connected to cancer, stroke, Alzheimer's. We even know it's connected to an increase in birth defects. So there's nothing left to debate.
Mimi?
It's not beautiful. It's not healthy.
I think you need to...
And that stigma is the type of stigma that's needed because it gets you to do things that actually help yourself. To live a longer life. Oh no, someone is trying to help me be healthy and live long? Why would you do that?
I understand the frustration of women because what they're saying is there's not a big pool of good men.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
That is a lie.
That's not a lie.
Listen.
What?
There's not a lot of good men who want y'all. There's a lot of good men out there like where the good man at? Like they hiding under a rock or in a cave. They everywhere. They at the gas station. They at Costco. They at the bank. They walking right past you and you don't show up on their radar because of the way you are. They're going to walk right by you. Your pretty face ain't going to go too far because everybody's pretty. That's a prerequisite. So if that's all you got to offer, we not looking at you. There's plenty of good men. They just don't want your ass. I ain't never heard no woman say, I know I ain't shit. She'll say, this man ain't shit. He ain't shit. He was bad. He was bad. Every woman think they're a good woman. What makes you a good woman? Who's auditing that you're a good woman? You are auditing yourself. Why don't you ask your exes what they think? Because all your relationships diminished and ended in turmoil. So maybe you're not as good as you really think you are.
No, the only issue is you don't know what a good man is. So therefore you will say that there are no good men, but you just don't go for good men.
Michael. That sounds like self-hatred and justification of white supremacy. And let me just say this, because this Congresswoman is a wonderful human being, but when you disrespect Kamala Harris by saying you will call her whatever you want, I know you don't intend it to be that way. That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
Oh, so now you're calling me racist.
I didn't say. I just said you weren't a racist.
That is complete.
No, you don't have to intend racism to accomplish
you are
it.
intending that
Your
I am
disrespect
racist,
of Kamala Harris
that is
part and parcel of a tradition
of
disrespect.
It's offensive,
Congresswoman, why can't you
it's
just?
offensive.
I'm not calling you a racist. I'm saying what the practice is racist.
You are. You absolutely are.
Let me get no, what's disgusting is your disrespect of her.
Professor,
this gentleman said,
I
didn't know her name. He's trying to do it.
Is her disrespect of women. She doesn't know what a woman is. And if 25 years ago,
white women don't have the ability to tell black women who paid the price of blood to make this country what it is to tell them they're not real women.
25
they
years
care
ago,
for your babies
25 years ago, I became
humanity.
the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina. I
so
fought my way through it.
So pronounce her name right.
Let me
actually pronounce her name right.
Kamala Harris, if
Kamala.
I were a man,
you said
I will
not
call you Nancy
Pelosi.
It's Kamala. You're doing this on purpose, Congresswoman.
That's disrespectful.
You can't expect people to respect your service if you don't respect
and walked that stage 25 years ago, she would have said it. She would have taken that achievement away from women.
Professor Dyson, let me get in here because I want to play one more bit from Ellie's.
I'm completely tired of people calling everything and anything racist at the slightest inconvenience to themselves. Stop being the victim and calling everything racist when it clearly isn't.
People always ask me if I would date a liberal, and the answer is no. I only date men.
What would be your definition of the word woman?
That is a difficult question. I think it depends on one's own perspective. I think it has to do with the current, gender norms.
What is a woman? I feel like every person has their own definition to that. What would your definition be? I mean, if you identify as a woman, then you're a woman. What is a woman?
A lady someone that does not have a certain private part, I guess. I don't know.
This is definitely not a difficult question, and it shouldn't be a difficult question. But here we are in 2024, where asking what a woman is a difficult question.
You know what the leading cause of death for pregnant people is?
Pregnant people? Mothers?
If you'd like to call them mothers, not all of them are mothers.
What are they if they're not mothers?
They're pregnant people.
What people other than mothers are pregnant?
It's interesting because you come into this conversation, trying to hold this moral superiority. But when I use inclusive language, which it only takes a couple extra syllables to use inclusive language.
To include
and
who?
It seems to include people who don't identify as women but can become pregnant.
Then in order to be a moral person, I need to accept the idea that a man can really become a woman.
You are trying to deny someone of their identity and deny what their life experience is, and that doesn't seem like a moral stance to me.
I identify as being correct and more correct than you on this issue, and I would just ask that you accept and affirm my identity. Do you?
You are not a medical professional, and abortion and pregnancy
No, I'm
is
just
a
worried about
medical
my identity.
concern. That's not your identity.
I promise you that's my identity.
What?